2 months ago, WBEZ and the Chicago Sun-Times partnered to investigate child deaths in Illinois, and what Chris, myself, and Monifa Thomas found was that that number had actually gone up among deaths that the Department of Children and Family Services had previously had contact with the family. A lot's happened in the 2 months since that investigation was published in November, not the least of which is that DCFS did a complete recount of how many children have died in the last 5 years. Actually, they had miscounted in each one of those years and found 11 children that were not properly counted the first time. And we've found that really the numbers have not changed much since there was a spike about 3 years ago. Child deaths caused by abuse or neglect, in which DCFS had previously contacted with the family, is potentially going to stay above 30 for the third year in a row.
I think the case that we're highlighting in Monday's paper is that of Lamar Haslett. He's an 8-month-old kid. He's one of 7 children. 3 of those children were taken away long before Lamar was born over an abuse issue in the household. As they were in foster care, Lamar's mother and father had 4 more children. Lamar was born in April of 2012 and had a very short life. He died at 8 months. It turned out that his father beat him to death, and his father later committed suicide in his jail cell at Cook County Jail on Father's Day, strangely enough. In between then, there have been several allegations of abuse and neglect leveled against this man by both his existing children who were in foster care, and some of those allegations involved the other 4 children. All those warning cries were unfounded by DCFS, deemed not credible.
We've been in contact with DCFS, and really what this entire process of our reporting on this story has done is it's brought some new light into DCFS's practices. It's gotten a lot of attention. It certainly got the attention of state lawmakers. State senators have had some hearings into just what is the reason that more kids are dying from abuse or neglect, and especially when in those circumstances that the department had been in contact with the family. In the instance of Lamar, we talked to the Cook County Public Guardian, whose job it is to represent children in legal matters when they're entering the foster system.
I think there were some missed opportunities before Lamar died, both by the agency in terms of looking at the case and looking at the stressors that were going on in the family at the time, and definitely with respect to the investigations. If the agency or if the investigator had done even, taken them to the hospital to have a bone scan done, they might have learned that there were old and healing fractures on those children. And that's an opportunity that I don't think we'll ever get back again. We certainly won't in time for Lamar, but that might have prevented him from dying, and it might have, if you look on the bright side, it might have been a chance to intervene on behalf of the parents too.
Everybody understands that child welfare is a very difficult proposition, and one of the things that strikes us as we look at these cases is that there's no magic bullet for this. What our reporting has done is raise some questions about DCFS caseloads, investigation times, communication with the Chicago Police Department. All those questions that our first series of stories in November highlighted are still on the table, and there has been some action taken to improve some of those things. But just as the case historically has been with child welfare, it's an evolving process, and I would suspect we're going to be running child welfare stories a year from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now as trends change.